Hi, my name is Vincent Annalena. I'm going to be going over why the pain in the WWE is real, even though the matches are predetermined. I have my audience right over here. All right, now the WWE it is scripted. The matches, everything, they are predetermined during all the shows and everything. Um, and that tends to make people believe that the actual pain and all that is actually fake. That's actually less common due to contrary belief. And I mean, there's a bunch of different topics I can go into, a bunch of different evidences, give opinions, all that kind of stuff as to being able to show how the pain is actually real. And I'll be going into that today. The first topic I'm actually going to be going through today is John Cena's 2007 pectoral injury. Ended up occurring late 2007, I want to say. I think it was November. He was in a match with, I believe it was John Bradshaw Layfield. Let me go ahead and get this real quick. Yeah, he actually ended up getting into a fight with John Bradshaw Layfield in 2007. Ended up tearing his pectoral muscle and had to get surgery, actually. He was out for about 8 months, I believe, around that amount, close to a year, give or take. And obviously, if you had to get surgery, that's not very fun, so obviously there's going to be a lot of pain involved there. There's one of my points of evidence right there. Then we're going to go ahead and come down here to, this is a bit of a different one. It's Eddie Guerrero. It wasn't necessarily an injury or needed surgery or anything like that, but it definitely was a painful experience, as there was these things in WWE called blade jobs, where a wrestler, if he takes like a big punch or a big chair shot to the head, he'll normally just take a little blade. They always have little blades with them. And make like a little mark on their forehead to draw a little bit of blood, make it more exciting, stuff like that. And Eddie Guerrero, he actually botched this one time in 2004, where he was supposed to, he took a pretty nasty tear shot to the head, and he was trying to do a little bit of a blade job to get some blood out there, make it more exciting, and he ended up botching it. Botching, I don't know if it's a wrestling exclusive term, but botching means to pretty much mess up or do something incorrectly. So he ended up gashing his head a lot deeper and a lot farther than he was supposed to. And he ended up, his face was just full of blood, and it was not a pretty sight to see. And I can definitely assure you, something like that is very painful, and you're not going to get over that very easily. Then the next one we're actually going to get into is one of my favorites, actually. Adam Edge Copeland. Adam Copeland, he's a wrestler for the WWE from the late 90s to 2011 was when he wrestled for them. Now, in the late 90s, or actually, no, it was 2004, it was 2003. He ended up getting a really bad neck injury in a match where he had to take some time off, get a surgery, and all that kind of stuff for his neck. I don't remember exactly when it happened. I want to say it was during a house show. But anyway, he got his neck injured really badly. He was out for pretty much a year or so. Came back, had all the rehab, all that kind of stuff. Back to normal. But in 2011, actually, he ended up getting his neck re-injured. It wasn't as bad of an injury. He was only out for about 5 or so months, I want to say. He was back a lot sooner than most people expected him to be. But he ended up coming back. But the WWE, they wanted him to run more tests because they didn't like what they saw. I'm not sure exactly what ended up flaring that suspicion, but he ended up going and get back in more tests, and the MRIs actually ended up showing that there was some really messed up stuff going on in his neck, and if he were to continue wrestling anymore, there was a good chance he'd end up in a wheelchair, and that pretty much completely ruined his career. He couldn't wrestle anymore. He had to retire, and trust me when I say those neck injuries, they are not very nice to deal with. They hurt like a bitch. And I'm sure that was not a lot of fun to deal with. Alright, going into the last topic here is actually Mankind. He's a very well-known name. I'm sure you've probably heard of him. But back in 1998, Mankind and Undertaker, they were in a Hell in a Cell match. And Mankind, these Hell in a Cells, they were about, I want to say, 16 to 22 feet in height. And Mankind, he was actually thrown off the cell into an announcer table right on his shoulder. That didn't cause any injury at first, anyway. But that's not very fun to land 16, 22 feet, getting thrown off that onto the steel. The floor was steel. He might have jumped onto a table, but the floor below that was completely steel. So that couldn't have been fun to deal with. And then later on in that match, he gets thrown through the cell, not over it, not around it. He gets thrown through it down into the mat, which back then it was just plain just normal wooden planks covered on the ring. That impact couldn't have been too fun. He ended up being bloodied, battered. He was out for, I want to say, 2 years because of all that. It just it really got to him. And I can't imagine how badly that pain must have been. But yeah, that was my points proven. If you have anything else you'd like to know about the topic or anything like that, just let me know. Thank you.